Welcome to the CEO's blog for this week, and once again we unfortunately lead off with COVID-19 and the protocols that we are often having to change because of circumstances. This week I will be advising you that it will be mandatory to wear masks when you're at a race meeting or trials. Unfortunately, the situation has come to this due to a couple of reasons. The worst of being an infraction by participants recently, which has led Harness Racing New South Wales to look carefully at what is happening out there in our world, our racing world, in your world, in the working environment. And when we talk about the working environment, we talk about protecting each other, we talk about protecting our industry, and that is why we need to introduce this measure. Only recently, an act which I just really can't believe people would undertake occurred at a race meeting, and that has caused probably this move, or more likely this move. We don't wish to slip into a situation such as is in Victoria, and we really reach out and feel for our counterparts down there who are having to go through some really draconian protocols because of the spread of this virus, this pandemic that we've got no control over. The government is doing all they can. So all I ask of participants is to please help us, please not abide by or don't comply with these rules. Just let's get on with it and let's just keep racing. Social distancing is a really important factor in controlling this virus or stopping the spread of this virus in any case. So when you go to the race meetings, respect each other's distance, wear that mask of course, and don't hang around at a meeting if you don't need to. Let's keep our environment as safe and as risk-free as we possibly can. On COVID, we keep on looking at the regional situation. So if you have an issue where perhaps you want to move from region to region, it'd have to be on a permanent basis, please contact the stewards or Sean Snudden, and they will help you with it. But as we live through this pandemic, we have to look at what we're doing for each other, looking after our industry, and whatever we do, we must keep racing. That's it for COVID-19 this week, but hopefully we've got better news on that front next week. Last week I announced changes to the Breeders' Challenge, and in particular to the bonus redemptions side of it. Harness Racing New South Wales correctly has received quite a few approaches from participants who have a little bit of concern with what has been introduced. And to that point, the board members of Harness Racing New South Wales this afternoon will meet and consider where they are with the bonuses. They'll revisit what has been put in place, and next week we will put out a notification to industry if there are any changes to the redemption of the bonuses. Everybody that has contacted Harness Racing New South Wales, I thank you for putting in the effort and putting forward your views. Yes, we did have submissions before, maybe you missed those, but at least they've come forward and people have actually repeated what they had proposed in those submissions. One thing I must say, and perhaps I went a little bit off track last week and did a bit of a Donald Trump and didn't follow, and maybe people didn't understand what I was saying. We certainly look at these decisions very closely, and the board looks at these decisions very closely, and we proceed. If you have a purpose, to contact Sean or Alana here in the office to express your views post when those decisions are made. Please, whatever you do, be courteous when you approach Sean and Alana or myself or anyone here in the office of Harness Racing New South Wales, and they will be able to assist you the best they can. As I said, we have to make changes. We have to make necessary changes in many respects. We have to make changes off the back of what and how we're informed on certain aspects of this sport. So we're all in it together. We just have to get along and make sure we get the right delivery for the industry at large. Breeders' Challenge, not too far around the corner with the start of the race series. If you have questions in respect to that race series, make them now, especially our friends from interstate and Victoria who will have to make decisions about moving horses. But even within New South Wales, if you think you need to move to another region, that option is there, but you must follow what the guidelines and the criteria that are in place. So contact Sean Snudden in that respect. Wishing you all the best in the next couple of weeks, getting your horses ready for the Breeders' Challenge, and then wishing everybody every success that they can achieve in our wonderful series. For the last couple of weeks, I've spoken about government assistance that may be available, both state and federal, for our participants. Please talk to your accountant, talk to us, see what we can do for you in pointing you in the right direction, see what the government can do for you. This week a text message went out. We don't like to overdo it with text messages, but a text message went out. You have a place to go. You need to have someone to talk to. If it's Morris Logue, certainly contact him. If it's myself, contact me. But whatever you do, if you do qualify for this assistance, I strongly encourage you to reach out to the government, because these are very tough times we're living in through the coronavirus pandemic. We have had another wonderful week of harness racing across the state. Some of the highlights for this week were: Newcastle was the first meeting of the week on Friday night, where there were 8 different winning drivers and 7 different winning trainers, with Clayton Harmey landing a double. The win by 2-year-old Artful Jack for the Team Tritton Fractional Ownership Group was a boost to this type of ownership. Tabcorp Park Menangle may soon be renamed Craig Cross and Luke McCarthy Park, as they continue to dominate at the Metro meetings. Another 5 winners for Craig and 4 winners for Luke. Dubbo on Sunday featured 2 heats of the Garage Rio Meteor Gig Series, won by Carlu Bodacious and Promise to Rock. This joint promotion, which rewards horses which race at Dubbo and Parks during the season, has another heat on Sunday at Parks, with the final at Dubbo on August 23. James Rattray trained and drove a double at Tabcorp Park Menangle on Monday, whilst Kerry Ann and Robert Morris landed half the program on Tuesday at the track. Their winners were Agent Maori for Mother Margaret Morris and Princess Kenny for John Green in the Trotters races, whilst Please Shut Up for Tricode Racing and I Can Run for Alex Smith, Russell Woods, and again Margaret Morris won. Ellen Bartley and Blake Jones scored doubles at Young on Tuesday night, with I'm a Shy Guy and Shadow Sign. At Bathurst on Wednesday night, Peter Trevor Jones trained a double, with 12-year-old Beatson again saluting. Beatson has had 214 starts, won 45 and placed 73 times for prize money of near $450,000. Bernie Hewitt also trained a double with Always Boppin and Shifty Nicolosi, which are both New South Wales Breeders' Challenge bound. Yesterday afternoon, local trainer Tony Misson and drivers Brad Elder and Blake Hughes landed doubles at Tamworth. Whilst at Penrith last night, Ian Wilson and Jimmy Douglas also had a double with Lanakai Beach and Informality. Possibly, however, the low light of the week was the loss of the Wagga meeting last Friday due to the poor track service, which is being examined by the club and Harness Racing New South Wales. And if there is an apparent issue, it will be addressed as a matter of priority. In the United States last weekend, Andrew McCarthy dominated at the Meadowlands, when not only did he win the $1 million Hamiltonian on Ramona Hill, but he also was successful driving 4 other winners at the meeting. And what a stellar year are Emilio and Mary Rosati having, winning derbies across Australia and the TAB Regional Championship here in Sydney, while Senna Stride won the time-honoured Peter Horton Memorial at the Meadowlands on that same meeting. Also in the United States, Lauren Tritton won her first race, when Flaming Flutter won at Yonkers Paceway on July 31. Both Shane and Lauren are making an impression in New Jersey and New York, flying the pink Team Tritton flag high for all to take notice. And to close the blog this week, unfortunately on a sad note, I marked the passing of Bev Higgs. Bev, a lovely lady, was the wife of Mick Higgs from Bathurst, and his family and friends, I extend the condolences of the industry on the passing, as I said, on such a lovely lady. That's it for the blog this week. All the successes I wish you. If you're getting ready for those Breeders' Challenge races, make sure you know the dates, make sure that you know the conditions, and if you need assistance, reach out to Sean Snudden, who will help you in any respect. That's it. Have a successful week, and keep on harness racing, keep on wearing your mask, keep on social distancing, and make sure we're racing again for many weeks to come.